Hi, and welcome to the 22nd feeding of my red wiggler worm bin. Today, Sunday, well, I think it's Saturday, but it might be Sunday now, I'm not sure. Today is their 22nd feeding. Today they'll be fed peach. I got a peach split up. I got a few apples that I cut in half. I've got some watermelon that I sliced up and then put in a bowl and promptly dropped as soon as I walked into the greenhouse. It's a little bit more like mushed watermelon. It's got some coffee grits and some dirt. I'm sure the worms won't mind. There's the apples. They'll also be getting some celery leaves and some celery stalks, and they'll be getting some love potion, worm chow. They'll be getting some seashell grit, and they'll be getting some coffee grind. It being their 22nd feeding and me starting somewhere in the October-November region with the worm bin, they're almost a half a year old. And boy, I'll tell you what, for it only being 6 months, we sure got a population in this worm bin. We got some little wormies down there. Oops, sorry about the horizontal switches. Are you looking? I hope you're looking at, I can't even tell what you're looking at. This weird camera be doing some weirdy stuff. That'd be what I'm trying to show you. The wormies up there, but it might be a little dark in there. Let me see if I can enlighten the picture. Don't know if that helped or hurt. I can't tell. I'm gonna get the try to get the tripod set up here so that you guys can view along the feeding. Please bear with me while I attempt to set up the tripod and hopefully give you guys a good picture of what I'm doing, as well as let you see what I'm doing. There we go. I hope you can see the whole worm bin. You may not be able to see that piece of corn, but well, come on, screen. Thank you. I need you to stay on screen. So we're 3 minutes into this. We got some baby leaf and we got some lettuces that I've been putting in there. We've got some corn cobs that we've got down here. The wormies are messing with them, eating them, populating them. Not sure if there's any cocoons in them, but that's what they did the last time I gave them corn cobs. Although the last time they weren't fresh corn cobs with grits and stuff like that in there. The last time they were dried corn cobs. Oh, I had already threw that watermelon in. It was parts that fell onto the below the ground as I walked in. This is some cornbread, saturated cornbread. The wormies are eating it. That's a good thing. We can slip some fresh. This is not frozen watermelon, so don't think I'm harming my wormies, but I'm trying to get them to know that there's some fresh watermelon in there too. So we're gonna get on with this feeding. Been going kind of hydrogen. Yeah, that's smart. Hydrogen. No, I've been going kind of nitrogen heavy the last couple rounds in the feedings. I felt for a while there I was neglecting their nitrogen needs and overdoing it with the banana, and I had to step back. take a step back and evaluate. And through my evaluations, I concluded that I was going too heavy on the potassium side. So, as a favor to my worms and give them a more balanced feeding, I've came to my senses and been starting to give them some more nitrogen-based food so that my castings are more well-rounded, more beneficial, as well as being more rounded, or well-rounded. I do have some cardboard in there, but I've got a good healthy load of some saturated cardboards that I pre-mixed up, and I want to put that in. I did come in, it was a little warm in the greenhouse the other morning. We hit 113 degrees, the hottest that I've ever had inside the worm, not the worm bin, but the hottest I've ever had inside the greenhouse. We had a power outage. I had the solar setup running. I had the inverter on, powering the lights overnight and the fans overnight, but unfortunately I set the timer on the inverter to shut off at 7 a.m. so that the lighting and the sun weren't out at the same time. That could have been real bad if the lights would be on at the sunrise. This place would get very hot. I only had one opening open, the 2 layers of fabric on the greenhouse. Only one doorway was open. I had the other doorway sealed through the winters because that's the west side, and I didn't want the west side wind blowing through the greenhouse all winter, so I left that side sealed and I opened the east side. Well, the east side's always been open. That's my entrance. So, what are we getting at? So, if the sun were to come up with that west side door sealed, it'd get hot in here, like 130 degrees hot, and I don't want that to happen. So I shut the inverter off at 7 o'clock, and fortunately for me, I fell asleep at 5 o'clock that morning, so I needed a couple more hours of sleep. So when I woke up at 9 o'clock, it was pretty warm in the bin, 85 degrees, and no ventilation through the greenhouse. Thankfully, I was smart enough to come out and turn the lights off and hit the inverter back on and power the fans until the power came on. And I hit the water pump a couple times, and I soaked down the top layer of casting so that the wormies had somewhere to retreat to. Today, when the temperature peaked, even with the west side door open and the east side door open, and 3 20-inch fans moving as much air as they could, we got to a nice warm temperature today. The max was 113 in the greenhouse and 80 degrees in the bin. So the bin was 20 degrees cooler. Thankfully, the wormies would have tried to escape and had it been 113 degrees inside there. What was I blabbering about? So I got so permanently the rest of the summer we got the west side door open. We got a fan in the doorway sucking and blowing air through the greenhouse. We've got the other 2 fans pumping it out this back door, and it's been pretty nice in here. The average temperature today, with it being about 91 outside, was 80 degrees was the average in here. So I can't complain. Then the average inside the worm bin was 72, so can't complain. 10 degrees cooler. So at around dinner time, I came out with a bucket full of, not a bucket, a quart of ice, and I soaked down the coffee filters with a bunch of ice cubes. So I'm sure the wormies like that. Speaking of their last feeding, yeah, I do. I got some watermelon already in there from the last feeding, and it looks like, yeah, just a thin shell. Look at that worm ball under there. I hope these guys are seeing this. Turn that screen on. Look at that worm ball. I hope these guys can see it. Let me adjust. Yeah, that's a worm party under there. There still looks like there's some rind left, and why don't we sneak some of this fresh pink stuff under there, and we'll flip that rind back down and let the worms finish what they started. Maybe they'll see that pink stuff. So let's get this feeding on its way. Stop screwing around and blabbling. Sorry about talking your ear off. Let's get this party started. Thankfully, my hands weren't sticky from picking up the clumps, but we're gonna put a clump here. We're gonna drop a clump there. We're gonna drop some there. We're gonna come back here and pop a piece there. We're gonna move this coffee filter and this coffee filter and that coffee filter, and we'll put that there, and we'll put a piece over there. I tell you, I thought that they would have really worked at these cornbread pieces. They devoured the English muffins really well. I had put 2 halves of an English muffin on this side, and yeah, it looks like they devoured that. But I had put this cornbread in here, and yeah, they're slowly but surely, I think something else may be eating it, but I don't think the worms ate too much of the cornbread. Oh, there is a wormy. Hey, wormy. Go ahead, kick yourself over there. I ain't messing with you. Hey, there's a baby wormy right there jumping around. Hey, buddy. I got some watermelon. Come and get it. And I got one more chunk of watermelon. This is a big old chunker of watermelon. This is the end piece. I don't know what that moldy stuff is. Let me tip that back out of the way and let's scratch that stuff over. Oh, there were some wormies under it. Sorry, wormies. Work on that watermelon. Alright, so that's all the watermelon. Let's get this feeding started. Alright, what else we got here? We've got a frozen peach with half its seed. I couldn't get the seed out. Wasn't going to try very hard. I already put the other half in somewhere. Got some apple. Put some apple in there. And I got this other frozen peach that I did try to... Yeah, it ain't splitting. The whole thing is gonna go in. And then we got, yep, the lettuce leaf. Got a couple pieces of sandwich lettuce that wasn't eaten. We'll throw that in there. Got some more coffee filters. So my idea, instead of using some bubble wrap this season, is to use our natural bubble wrap. So when we were doing a while there, we were using some green romaine leaves to make our bubble wrap water moisture retaining system, and yeah, it worked out pretty well. The wormies like the romaine. So this week it looks like we're making a oh, some hairs in there. I don't know where they came from. Get out there. Let's see, bubble wrap. We were making the romaine bubble wrap, and that worked out pretty well. They liked it. The wormies devoured it in a couple days. So if you guys want to try that works really well. The wormies really like the lettuce bubble wrap. You just lay the leaf lettuce down and make your layer of moisture control out of bubble wrap. Yeah, no, out of lettuce. Alright, let's get the coffee in there. We're not going to go too crazy, just a thin little layer, carbon stuffs. We don't want to heat the bin up, so we're not putting clumps. This is very well dried and full of cardboard. Sitting on top. Hope y'all are enjoying the better camera. Hopefully it's better. Put some carbon stuff down there. Oh, I didn't put any grit in yet. We'll save some of that. Grit. This is my seashell grit. When the wormies eat this, it acts as grit for in their gizzards to grind down their foods. But also, since it's seashell stuff, the worms produce an enzyme called chitin, and what that does when those worm castings are introduced to your plant root system is it increases your plant's ability to resist pests. Super good for your worm system. Also, insect frass. If you get black soldier fly frass, that's supposed to be real good at increasing the chitin levels in your plant system too. What else do we got? Worm chow. So we got new and exciting things coming other than the new camera systems. We got 2 new bins. Well, should I say 2 new size bins. When I was at Home Depot today, I dropped the ball. Yeah, I dropped the ball. No, I bought the wormies a little present. This is a 27-gallon tote, and I've been worried that my height is getting kind of high for my red wigglers. Red wigglers like to work within a 6 inches of boundary. They don't like to go deep in the soil. They're your apogeic worm. They like to work on the top layer of the soil. They'll go down to seek out cooler places, and they'll go down, but they prefer to be in the top 6 inches of the duff layer. And not the duff layer, but the top 6 inches is where the red wiggler like to work. It's where they like to eat, feed, mate. That's where they do everything. So I've been worried that the bin's been filling up, and I've been putting lots of food in, and that's going to make it fill up faster, and cardboard's going to make it take up some space. So I got a 40-gallon tote. So the wormies are going to get an upgrade. And this system might get restarted with a new set of wormies. Been contemplating ordering another batch. Haven't figured out who I'm going to settle on. I've been through the Amazon pages, and I see JD's, and he's the cheapest, and You go to his own website, you can get them cheaper than